The media is full of chitty chat about the supposed disaster that was the E.L. James Q&A on Twitter. I happened to have been watching her for a couple of days before this. What a nice life it must be, going to parties and listening to the citizens of the idiocracy tell you how talented you are. I wondered how many of the trolls making some pretty vile comments on Twitter knew how much they were playing into her already cash-lined hands. Having thought a lot about the issue of quality and shame over the last few years as a result of my abiding interest in Woolf, pardon me, raw foodies who may have caught me before I went underground may remember I had some concerns about his writing style. Although I have to say, as something of a speech geek, his speaking is pretty much faultless most of the time. I found myself completely unable to mentally locate a negative thought about her. So instead I simply asked her when she was putting out her marketing title. No reply, sorry. Apparently her fans require some sort of explanation. I was attacked on Facebook this afternoon by a die-hard self-confessed fangirl who screeched that E.L. James had inspired her to, wait for it, read a book, that E.L. James had made a lot of money, and that her sex life had improved. When I replied that I did not care about any of these things, she became irate and told me to get off her page. Remind you of anyone? Okay, for the benefit of E.L. James fans, the concerns of the actual reading and writing public are as follows. Number 1. BDSM is not really meant to be practiced without informed consent. It's extremely important that anyone who goes down this route makes this abundantly clear, particularly if you're shooting for readers with an IQ of less than 3 digits. 2. Some people spend years honing their craft in order to put out a quality product, simply because their name is on it. Hard to believe in this day and age, I know, but it's not okay to scribble with a crayon and call it an old master. My books are free precisely because my purpose is twofold. The first being to get general readers interested in raw food, and the second to get the message that Woolf does not want to hear into his hot little hand. Even so, looking at E.L. James' writing, I spent more time on it than she did. This is like saying that rather than spend up to 200 hours making one of my artworks, I should sit and crochet egg warmers or jock straps. No thanks. For others, reading is the skill. Skilled readers do not like being insulted with poor writing, as they regard themselves as similar to a gourmet, and rightly so. The wider spread of education in the modern world ought to mean that readers are at a higher, not lower reading level than they were 30 years ago, but the popularity of James makes it a certainty that this is not the case. So we can safely say E.L. James has created a very large club of non and new readers, with the inevitable result that thousands of us do not wish to be a member. Fair play to her on one hand. Perhaps I should hammer out some Sam Redwood erotica and bang it in the new adult contemporary genre. Part of the reason for her success is being in a new genre which many publishers do not even recognise yet. Big fish, tiny pond. On the other, whilst I majorly compromised myself for Woolf's benefit, as I did not think it worth 7 years' work for him to ignore my academic title given the evidence, I do not want to exist in a world where it's smart to be so very, very dumb.